Hello there and welcome to Baby Bramble, where we talk about babies and all the stuff we buy to go with them. I'm your baby gear guru expert, Julie, and today we are doing Introduction to Infant Car Seats. That's right, it's Infant Car Seats 101. Hello there and welcome back to Baby Bramble. Today we are doing an introduction to infant car seats specifically. We did a general introduction to baby car seats previously. Now we are zeroing in on the infant car seat. Stick around to the end to learn which infant car seat I picked and why. So you hear infant car seat and you think, all right, infant car seat, that's the one you buy for a newborn. Well, there are several convertible seats, you could call the next step up seats, that are also newborn ready. So why buy this one separately? Why is this one special? Well, I'll tell you. Infant car seats are often called bucket seats because of this fancy handle. We never called it a bucket seat, but it does help for visually distinguishing the bucket, because they're all kind of bucket shaped. So it's would be more accurate to call this the handle seat. Why do infant car seats have handles on them and not convertible seats or other styles of seats? Well, I'll tell you, because they're trying to take advantage of the fact that the baby, one, is so small and so light, but also assist with the fact that the baby has no real spine development when they are first born. So you are able to pick up the whole seat with the baby in it, bring it inside, bring it outside, put it in a stroller, just take it straight up out of the car without taking the baby out and without compromising the installation of the seat. How does it do that, you say? Well, unlike convertible car seats, again, that kind of next size up car seat, the seat and the base are two separate pieces. The convertible seats often kind of look like they have a base. It's not one that separates from the seat. Infant seats are specifically designed for the seat to separate from the base. Seat, base. This is an example of an infant car seat base. If you buy an infant car seat new, it comes with a base automatically. They also sell extra bases, so you don't have to worry about, oh, infant car seat automatically buy an extra base. You might buy an extra base if you're a two-car household and the baby might be going between different cars, or if there's a grandparent that wants to have the kid as well, or there's a nanny that frequently takes the kid. So that way you can just leave the base in the car and then just take the seat. This is the seat going to different cars. Enjoy only needing extra bases while it lasts, because once the kid outgrows the infant car seat, you can't just swap that seat in between cars willy-nilly. You have to buy multiple car seats, or you have to uninstall and reinstall the seat every time. Kids are expensive. What are more reasons why you would buy an infant car seat and not just go right to the convertible? Well, one is the thing called a travel system. Travel system will get its own video in the future where I'll break down what strollers match with which car seats. But a travel system is, I can click this car seat into a stroller. And I mean, not just like set it on a stroller or even just like strap it on a stroller. I mean, you click it into the stroller and you could carry the stroller with the car seat, like they are attached. They are designed to be attached. So it's very safe. Often the first thing that comes up when you go looking for a stroller or a car seat online is that they'll try to sell you the whole system. They'll say, get our stroller and our car seat together, get our whole travel system. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. They're super convenient and they're great. Just know that if maybe there's a stroller you like, but then a different car seat that you like, maybe they fit together. My stroller and my car seat are actually two different brands, and I knew they had an adapter that was an easy to use adapter that made it so I could put the two together. So I still got to have the car seat that I wanted, and I still got to have the stroller that I wanted. You don't have to go, ugh, fine, I'll get that car seat. It's worth an extra check. I'll have a big chart in the travel system video of what strollers go with what. I did frequently get asked in the shop, or at least I pointed out often in the shop, that when you have a stroller, you will have the stroller with a kid for maybe 3 or 4 years, if not more. You will have an infant car seat with that child for maybe a year, if you're lucky. So pick the stroller that you want first and then match the car seat to it. Don't do it the other way around, because you'll just be using the stroller more, so it's worth picking out the stroller that you really like and then maybe a car seat that you sort of like. So with this infant car seat, you can get the baby all set inside, you can get the adapter on the stroller, throw the stroller in the car, you can get the baby, just carry the baby right down in, click it into the car, you drive somewhere, you whip the stroller out, click baby out of car, click baby into stroller. Easy peasy. I know that sounded like a lot of steps, but the alternative is get stroller in car, pick up child, buckle child into seat, go somewhere, unbuckle child from seat, whip out stroller, buckle child into stroller. There's just a lot of in and out. And if you've ever interacted with a baby and buckles, they don't like that process very much. So at least being able to delay that process until they have a spine, I've found it to be beneficial. Now I'll also point out that the infant car seat, the base, all bases can be installed with the latch system in a car, shown here, or a seat belt. Latch. Latch. And there. Hiya! In here. A little hard to see, but you see that little piece of metal? That's your latch. This is a rigid latch system, meaning it can't go sideways, it can't go forward, back, it's rigid. Most styles of latches come on straps, identical to a seatbelt strap. And then they'll have easy latch, which looks very similar to this on the end. If you can imagine just this piece attached to a strap, or what we call a hook latch, or seatbelt. This one is lovingly labeled with blue. We've got blue instructions, blue sticker, blue sticker. Seatbelt goes through there. Goes under, goes through. You pull it real tight. You lock it in place. Fancy car seats will even have built-in levels. The base being able to be installed with a seatbelt or a latch is similar to convertible car seats. Convertible car seats, you can install them with a seatbelt or a latch. They're designed to be versatile that way. What is special about the infant car seat is that you can get just the seat, just the bucket, and install this in a car. Seatbelt installation, which is super helpful if you're traveling. Maybe you're getting on a plane, maybe you're renting a car and you don't want to also bring the base. They pointed out my base is kind of heavy. I don't really want to travel with that base. I can travel with just the seat. And you can see again, there's that nice blue and that nice blue. And hey, look, instructions with more blue on them. All infant car seats can be installed with just the seat for easy travel. Some of them only have this lap section where the seatbelt goes across the lap. More and more of them also have the shoulder strap part where the shoulder strap also goes behind the head. It's also really great if your in-laws are visiting just for the weekend and you don't want to install the base. You're just going on a quick car trip, so you just pick up the seat and you pop the seat in and you take an extra minute and you strap the seat in. One of the very useful things about infant car seats is if you don't own a car and you're using a card share service like Uber or Lyft, maybe you walk somewhere, you've got the car seat in the stroller with the adapter so it fits, you're having a great time, maybe it starts to rain and you think, I'm gonna call Lyft home. You can take that car seat, pop it out of the stroller, throw the stroller in the back of the Lyft, and then install the car seat right into the car and get yourself home. You cannot do this with a convertible seat because a convertible seat doesn't fit in a stroller. So unless you have a very small or a very light convertible seat that maybe you can shove in the basket of your stroller, if your stroller's sized right to hold that, this is something you can only do when they're very small. So take advantage of that time period while you can still use Ubers and Lyfts, where you can Uber to an event, take out your stroller, take out your kid in the infant seat, stick them in, and then Uber back super easy without having to somehow shove your whole car seat into the base of the stroller, because there is no alternative currently. Car seat designers, help! Now let's get into a few more little nitty-gritty details, things that are easier to Google, I would say. I recommend checking out my introduction to car seats in general, my Car Seats 101 video, because I do go into a lot about installations and fits into cars. Most infant car seats are designed with a maximum weight and height of about 30 pounds, 30 inches. Some are a little bit less, some are a little bit more, 28 inches, 32 inches. You can Google it. There's many comparison charts you can find online. Or if you already own the seat, read the sticker on the side. It is a font of useful information. 30 pounds sounds like a lot, because it is. It can be closer to a 3-year-old. 30 inches can be a little bit more like a 1-year-old. So if you're lucky, you'll get a full year out of the seat. At time of filming, my child is 8 months and he has almost outgrown his seat. If you want to know when do they outgrow seats, check out my other video about 8 reasons why you need a new seat, because I go into details about why and when you would get more seats. Fun thing with infant seats versus just buying a convertible car seat with an infant insert is that an infant seat is designed for a preemie. There are exceptions. If you're getting like a super cheap seat, it might not go down that weight, but typically infant seats start at about 4 pounds, whereas convertible car seats with infant inserts will start at 8 pounds, if not a little bit more. Now for the fun part, let's talk about things to look for when looking at infant car seats to buy. What are the deciding factors, if you will? Some of your make or break it points. First, of course, there's price. It's one of the first things you see. The cheapest seat we sold in the shop was probably about $150, and this is kind of middling for a car seat. Maybe cheap to middling. The most expensive car seat we sold goes for about $550. That one has a stroller built into the car seat, so it's trying to kind of skip that travel system part, which was super convenient, but it made it heavy. Next thing, weight of the seat. You'll be carrying the seat plus the kid everywhere you go, depending on whether or not you have an adapter to put it into a stroller, or maybe your stroller's heavy. Depending on your lifestyle, will determine how much you're carrying the seat plus the kid. You will at least need to carry that seat out of the car to get it somewhere. And if you've managed to install the seat in the center of the car, that's more leaning, that's more lifting to carry that seat. Weight is often not a make or break, but maybe you have a 3-story walk-up. I worked in Boston. There's some old buildings there. Maybe you just want to shave off as much weight as possible. The additional weight usually comes with some additional conveniences, like maybe a built-in stroller. Often there are little things like something to help you adjust the strap, or even more safety features. Next factor, width. Width usually doesn't really come into play unless you have multiple car seats in the back of a car. But if you have multiple children, width is going to be important. You can Google those. Width of the base, same question. Some bases are really wide, especially compared to the seat. Worth knowing if you're concerned about fit in a car. Fabric quality. Many of the European brands have Okotex certified fabric, meaning they've been tested against containing up to 350 harmful chemicals. The US has had an interesting relationship, has an interesting relationship with flame retardants. So that's a concern. Is it been tested for a whole bunch of stuff? Is it just made out of naturally flame retardant merino wool, so you don't have to worry about it? Also not often a make or break for a car seat, but perhaps you found a car seat that you think is kind of cool, but you don't really like the fabric. Take a look at the brand and the different options. Many of the brands have their standard fabrics, and then they have one option where you pay a little bit more money, they can upcharge you for a nice fabric. More breathable, made out of more sustainable materials, no flame retardants. I do love when they advertise when a certain fabric has no flame retardants, because then you go, so all the other ones have flame retardants? Maybe you should look at that. Of course, you'll also find ones that have vegan leather, real leather, partnerships with designers. The baby world is fascinating. Safety features. A little bit more of a make or break. Does it have all the safety features you want? All the car seats will have side impact protection, of course, that's a standard. But what else do they have? Do you want a load leg? It rests on the floor. I did not buy this car seat because of the load leg. It actually makes the base quite heavy and makes me less likely to travel with the base. But it is an added safety feature that people like. It's designed for a very strong recoil. So if the seat moved real hard one way, the latch is attached on one side, so that side can't go very far. But then what about the other side? That's what the load leg does. It rests on the floor. The Cybex Cloud Q has linear side impact protection. Do you want that? Do you know what that is? Maybe you want that. You have to engage them and disengage them every time you take the car seat in and out of the car, but maybe that's really important to you. Speaking of having to engage and disengage something every time you get in a car, the next one is the convenience features. These are very attractive and are often kind of the make or break. You'll go through the basic safety standards and then you go, all right, but which one's more convenient? Do you want to engage the LSP every time? How big is the sunshade? I was actually quite surprised at how important a big sunshade was to somebody buying a car seat. Do you have to manually change the height of a shoulder strap? Or is there a little toggle by the head that allows you to mechanically change the height of the shoulder strap? Is the little toggle too difficult to see, which means that you'll forget that it's there, which means you just won't know how to change the height of the shoulder strap, therefore negating all convenience? Since we're talking about infant car seats, the ones that are lighter or at least have shaved off as much weight as they can, one of the things they do is, you'll see you see the strap and you see these holes and you go, how do I change the height of the straps? They just want you to do it manually. So you can see here, see this buckle? These little loops just come off and then you re-thread it and then you put it on the loop again. Same thing with this little crotch strap here. You can pull this out, rotate it, shove it back through, shove it through. It is fascinating how much technology doesn't trust that any of us are very tech savvy, but then how much the baby world kind of trusts that we have some basic tech savviness in us. Next is, does the car seat fit in the stroller that you want? I know I brought up previously, but you want to pick the stroller first and then pick the car seat. I know that can sort of feel a little counterintuitive. Like, you know that when you have the baby and you give birth to the baby, you need the car seat to get the baby home from the hospital. You don't need the stroller to get the baby home from the hospital. So it feels like you should have the car seat first, which maybe when you actually buy it, buy the car seat first, but pick out the stroller first. Know which one you want, because if you can't click that car seat into that stroller, you're going to be kind of annoyed, because a lot of the car seats have a lot of similarities and a lot of the strollers have a lot of similarities. There's just little differences that are going to make it easier for your lifestyle depending on which one you go with. So just kind of have that in mind. That's why you're watching these videos, right? You're doing the research now. Watch the travel system video for a chart. Side note, it is going to be the nicer strollers and the nicer car seats that are able to mix and match more often. They just, maybe they have more money for a marketing department, I don't know. They network better. Next would be the ease of installation for the base. This is something you can't Google quite as easily, but looking at the style of latch, is it the rigid latch? There aren't going to be a lot with the rigid latch, but there'll be a lot with the easy latch, letter E, little dash letter Z latch. I find those to be the easiest to come in and out. But then there's the basic hook latch. Those tend to be the cheapest and on the cheaper seats. And if you're just installing it and you're done, that's fine. We've found that that style of latch is just really hard to uninstall, which I guess the point of the base is that you're supposed to install it and not uninstall it. But if perhaps you have a lifestyle where you expect maybe a few switching around of the bases, I don't recommend the hook latch. It hurts your fingers to get in there. Although one of the bigger factors could even be the shape of the seat of your car. When we went to the hospital, we installed this base and it was in my father-in-law's truck. And you'd think, oh, a truck, maybe those aren't designed well for seats. But the seat of the back seat of the truck was actually quite flat. It didn't have any sort of leading angle or extra padding or anything fancy. It was just a pretty flat seat, so it was actually super easy to install, which was great because I was the one that knew how to do the installation, but I was the one in labor and very tired. So I gave everybody a little lesson ahead of time, which was thankfully very easy. And then when we came out with the baby, I could just be like, fix the load leg, and it was set. The install was done. I didn't have to worry about it at all. That is the one bonus of the rigid latch, is if it does happen to fit in the car, you don't have to worry about tightening it, which is wonderful. But if you have a weird angle, or some seats, like you've got a seat, this is the back of the seat, this is the bottom of the seat, some seats have this weird like this thing going on, like that will throw off a rigid latch so bad. At the shop, we would help people try seats out in their car to see if it would fit, and people have bought cars or swapped out cars for the car seats. I mean, you've all heard stories of somebody had a big muscle car and they changed it out for a minivan because they're a parent now. But just changing the car up so maybe they get one where the back seat's a little bit bigger because they have long legs and they know that when they get that kid in there, the car seat's going to take up a lot of space. And they're going to have to shove the passenger seat up, so they try getting just a little bit more room. Or you got multiple kids, so you want a wider car so you can fit more car seats back there. It's a big deal, which is why I still recommend, when you've kind of narrowed down the seats that you like, if you're able to perhaps find a video or find pictures of somebody fitting it in the kind of car you have, or if you can then find a store where you can try them out in your car. You know, touch them, have that be the real finishing factor. And then there's ease of installation without a base. If you plan to be traveling a lot, make sure your car seat's easy to install. Make sure it has those additional baseless installation safety features, like the front and the back. And they'll advertise those. You'll see when you start going through features, it will say, whoa, guided seatbelt path, good for traveling. Yeah, they know. They know who they're marketing to. Gotta throw in the factor of, is it pretty? You know, sometimes you're looking at 12 different seats and a couple of them you just can straight up say, no, not those, because they're ugly. And it makes it easier. Maybe you're down to a few and you're thinking, I'm going to have to look at this thing all the time and my baby's going to have to be in it and I'm going to have to look at it with my baby all the time. Maybe you just want it to look nice. All right, for the end, I thought maybe I'd talk about a few examples. This is a young channel, so I don't have just extra infant car seats. But if anyone wants to send me one, the cheaper seat I mentioned toward the beginning of the video was the CHICCO KEYFIT 30. The 30 is for 30 pounds, 30 inches. Extremely popular seat. It was very light. Every stroller seemed to have an adapter for it. The base was very easy to install. It had the easy latch, so not the hook, but one that was much easier to get in and out. The base had a height adjuster to make it easier for when your car had a weird seat angle. Make it easy to get a nice installation. It has a level on it. Had a few fun fabrics. Had a few fun colors. The main con for it was the fabric didn't breathe very well. While it is an originally Italian company, it has become very Americanized, so the fabric hadn't gone through all the fancy testing. So what I would tell people is that when fabrics don't breathe very well, that means if you have a sweaty baby, they're going to stay a sweaty baby. That seemed to be the main complaint we'd get for the CHICCOs, is that their baby would just be sweaty. Honestly, if that's the worst thing about your seat, that your kid gets warm in it, that's not a make or break for me, might be for you. That is a seat that I probably could have bought because of how easy it is, but that's not the one I chose. Another car seat I'll bring up would be the UPPABABY MESA, also a very popular seat. It's really a very popular seat because the UPPABABY strollers are extremely popular because they check a lot of boxes, especially for someone who doesn't drive a lot. Really big storage, very easy to use, has a lot of adapters for a lot of car seats. But one of their big selling points for their car seat, the UPPABABY MESA, is that you don't need an adapter. You can just pop out the seat of the stroller and just pop in the car seat. No third part involved. It also has this fun little button on the top, so if you use their car seat with their stroller, you can one hand pick it up, which is nice. Theirs is one of the companies where you could get one with the nice fabric. They had a nice fabric option. They also have strollers where you can get the vegan leather options. They come with certain colors. Very fun. I know it sounds like I'm making fun of it. I am making fun of it, but end of the day, it is what I bought, so clearly not a make or break for me. I bought one with a vegan leather handle. It feels nice. The car seat I did end up buying is the UPPABABY. That's this baby. This is the UPPABABY. I went with the UPPABABY because I don't have a car, and I knew that the UPPABABY seat installed very well without the base. I liked the guides. I liked that the fabric was OEKO-TEX certified, so I wanted to have the nice healthy fabric as a bit of a additional fun piece. The UPPABABY does have a huge canopy. You go, Julie, that doesn't look like a very big canopy. What are you talking about? That looks super normal. Secret zipper. It's got a big canopy. I actually recommend looking for secret zippers on any of your strollers or car seats because chances are it has one. A lot of the stuff that we sold had secret zippers. And I also knew that Nuna sold a car seat adapter for the UPPABABY stroller. And I knew that that car seat adapter was a very convenient style. It's called a ring adapter, meaning I could take the car seat in and out of the stroller, kind of similar to how it came in and out of the base in the car. There are other styles of car seat adapter that have these fun... They look like this, and then... See these? See these hooks? It would fit like this. It would sit like this in the stroller. And if I wanted to get the car seat out of the stroller using this style adapter, which we called the MAXI COSI adapter. MAXI COSI is a different brand of car seat, but I suppose it was popular enough that a bunch of other car seats said, oh, if we design it that way, we can just use their adapters. Nuno was one of those, until they then were like, wait, we can build a third kind of adapter, and a second kind of adapter? So yeah, I didn't want one where it installed like this, because then to get it out of the seat, you have to hit these buttons, which meant going up to your stroller, holding it like this, and hitting these buttons and lifting it like this, which doesn't seem that bad when your car seat's 7 to 9 pounds. But when you also have a 12, 15 pound baby in there, and you're pushing down with your thumbs and lifting, it got less convenient. So I liked the ones, I like the ring adapter because I can hold it by the handle and just hit this button. If all that sounded fascinating and kind of confusing, wait for my travel system video. I will go into adapters way more. So that's why I chose the UPPABABY. If you're wondering, okay, well, why would I want that one? I chose a car seat mostly based on, does it travel well? And then I went, is the fabric good? Does it have convenience features that I like? I like that it's really light because I don't have a car and I'm gonna have to carry that thing around. I probably could have gotten the UPPABABY car seat. I just liked the Nuna a little bit more. See, one of those things like when it's pretty, there were some things about it I just liked a little bit more. Like, I was on the fence. They're important, you know? It's your seat. Extra special if somebody's buying it for you off the registry. Then you get to pick the nicest one. And that's just about everything I can think of with infant seats. If you have more questions, let me know, and I'll do a follow-up video or maybe a Q&A. There's so much we can do. Had a great time talking with you. Thanks for sticking around to the end. We make new videos every week. We put them out on Monday, so we'll see you then. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching that video. We have a lot more video ideas, so let us know in the comments if there's any you want us to do first. Thank you so much to my wonderful husband for doing most all of the editing. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.